Humenta. Am I pronouncing it right or not? Yes. Initially, I would like to express my thanks and gratitude for the organizers, for the Finnish Society on Media Education. I have come to Finland a few times, and it's always my pleasure to be in this country. And I think you Finnish people, you should be very proud of living in this country for two important reasons. Number one, you are free of corruption. And as Dr. Manisha said, in India and in Egypt, we experience a hell of a lot of corruption. Number two, it's a very clean country. And you are one of the best educational system on earth. In the Arab world and in the Middle East, when you talk about Finland, you talk about a very clean country, a very transparent country, very nice people. Therefore, I think you should be very proud of living in this country. And it's always my pleasure to come to Finland. And in my chest, I feel that I have three hearts. One heart in Cairo, where I was born and where I have my kids. The second heart, I have it in Barcelona, where I'm chairing these mentor association for media education. And my third heart would be in this country. I'm falling in love with this country. Well, I'm going to present to you today something about the new media and the history of the 18th day of the Egyptian revolution. My presentation will be mainly include two parts. In part one, I'm going to say a few words about Egypt, about the situation of media in Egypt and the new media. And then the second part of my presentation will include a film which will tell you the history of 18th day of revolution and how the new media have played a very important role in this respect. As you all know, Egypt is an African country. It's also an Arab country, so it's seen as the largest country in the Arab world with respect to population. Egypt is in the north of Africa, with part of it in Asia, which is Sinai. Cairo is the capital city of Egypt, and it's very crowded, very polluted. Egypt, though, is very crowded with population. We have about 85 million population. It would be a huge country compared to the Finland, and it will be a small country compared to India, or maybe a small region, a geographical area in India. I'm going to handle briefly the situation of mass media in Egypt, print media, radio, and TV, and then the new media. When it comes to the print media, we have three important governmental publishing houses. And these three publishing houses, they are publishing quite a few newspapers and magazines. Some of them are dailies, others are weeklies, and others are quarterly. We have also, in addition to these three governmental publishing houses, we have private and partial newspapers. Of course, if you want to have a newspaper in Egypt, you have to go to the higher press council, which is the regulator, the organization which is in charge of giving permission to issue newspapers. Radio and TV. In Egypt, we have 3 national TV and 7 local TV channels. Channel 2, it's mainly broadcasting in English, French, and German, not yet finished. Hopefully one day it will broadcast in Finnish. And it's meant to be for the expatriates or foreign people who live in Egypt. Generally speaking, viewer in the Arab world is exposed to a great number of TV channels. In addition to these land channels, we have about 696 satellite channels. 97 are owned by governments, and the rest is privately owned. It's a huge amount of TV channels. And in addition to these channels, in the Arab world, we are also exposed to European, North American channels. Therefore, in the Arab world, the viewer or the young viewer is exposed to quite a few TV channels. These channels, they mainly broadcast in Arabic, which is the main language in the Arab world, and some of them They broadcast in English. They also broadcast in other languages, such as French, Persian, Spanish, Indian, Hebrew, and Urdu. Regarding radio, we have 7 important radio networks in Egypt. And one of these 7 networks is what we call the Overseas Radio Network, which is broadcasting in 40 languages, and it broadcasts daily more than 200 hours per day. Moreover, there are radio stations in different geographical areas of the country. There are also private radio stations, FMs, and these are mainly directed to the young people, and they are mainly broadcasting light and musical programs. New media. As I just mentioned, Egypt has a population of 85 million, and surprisingly, the number of subscribers, which is contradictory to what Dr. Manisha just mentioned about India, is 101%. I mean, we have 86 million subscribers to the mobile phone. It's becoming like a kind of addiction. Egyptian people, whether they are adults or kids or, they are addict of the mobile phone. The internet is also widely spread. We have about 2/3 of the homes in Cairo, they are fitted with the internet, and 40% of homes in rural areas, they are also fitted with the internet. And in addition to the home system of the internet, I mean connections to the internet from home, we have also a lot of cyber and net cafe. They are scattered all over the country, especially in big cities like Cairo and Alexandria. When we talk about the new media, these new media were very crucial and very important to us in Egypt. We have a special respect to the new media, because thanks to these new media, the whole system of the country was changed. These new media, they managed to bring down a whole political system. I mean, the story of the Egyptian revolution with the new media started about 2 years ago, when there was a young man, Khalid Said, his name is Khalid Said, and this young man, he managed to take some shots, some video, for a policeman. And this policeman, he was smoking drugs. And he was doing some illegal actions which are not supposed to be done by a policeman. And he put this film online. The policeman saw the film, and all the police were very angry with this guy. So they kept on following him. And then he was tortured, he was beaten to death. And then the police story was that this guy, he was, overtaking drugs. And he died because of drug takings. But actually, he was beaten and tortured to death by the police. After this event, which was 2 years ago, some friends of this young man, they created a blog on the internet called Friends of Khalid Said. I mean, his friends, they created a blog, and they were talking about the inequality and the brutality and the violence of the police and the abuse of human rights by the police, by the Egyptian police, etc. And this, blog, it grew bigger and bigger over maybe about 12 months. And then these people, they were fed up with the police actions, they were fed up with corruption, they were fed up with unemployment, and with rising, and this and that, and they decided to go on the 25th of January on a peaceful demonstration to express their anger with corruption, with unemployment, with the rising prices, and this and that. And now I'm going to show you how this revolution was developed within 18 days. I'll show you the film, and unfortunately it's in Arabic, but I'm going to comment. It tells you the story of the revolution from day 1 up to day 18, when the Egyptian dictator decided to step down and go away. Now this president, he's in prison. His 2 sons, they are in prisons, and they are, I think they are receiving a kind of, fair trial as well. What I want to say here, that was a very good example of the new media. How the new media, we can use them for chatting, and how the new media managed to bring down a whole system. How the new media were used to fight against corruption, and how important they were in bringing down the whole political system. The new media were very crucial because these demonstrators were contacting each other through the mobile phones and through the internet. And even at one point, the government, they stopped all the internet connections. And it happens to be one of the young people, Wael Ghunaim, he was, the regional director of Google. And through some contacts and through the landline, they managed to establish some kind of connection through the internet. That's mainly what I want to say about these. And again, I would like to thank you for your attention. And